Alright, we're here. To anyone watching, we won't have Abby tonight because she forgot, which, no worries, I was daily on my reminder. Yeah, so we're starting Fritz. Y'all ready to start, like, 2 years later of the saddest fucking storyline in the first game, but also the best? Hey, I guess plus side to Abby forgetting about tonight is at least she won't be bored out of her mind because fucking Delora is dead. Ugh! Okay. I believe so she'd be bored out of her fucking mind, so... Fuck the mom. But not literally. She'll be back next week. Yeah, so I mean, technically, not bad that she's missing out today. The only loss is she will have to catch her up if she doesn't watch the video beforehand. Alright. Make sure everything's good and going. Someone say something so I can check the mixer. Is desktop audio even? Okay, someone else say something. I am confusion. Hold on. Alright, now someone say something.
Quack.
Okay, for some reason it swapping scenes completely got rid of desktop audio and I was like, excuse me?
Genius.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah, I think we should be good now.
See, you say that.
Shh, don't you say anything.
But we won't be fine here in a minute.
No, we're gonna be crying as we remember all the people who die. And see their graves. I should have bought tissues. No, I'm not. Well, I am now, but no, I won't be.
You'll be fine.
No, I won't.
You'll be fine.
No.
She will be. Will we?
They're just dead. It's okay.
No.
Being dead never hurt anybody.
Tell that to my emotions.
If you get hurt, hurt them back. If you die, walk it off. Wait a minute.
No. I don't want my friends to have to perma sleep.
A bit late for that, but
The
okay.
forever sleep. What happens after happily ever after? I don't know, man. I won't quite call that entirely a happily ever after. It's just an ever after. Alright, where's my boy?
Path.
Where's my boy? Time to cry.
Good.
Fritz,
Good.
hold me. I'm crying.
I can't. I'm over here.
That's Waltz. Well, this Fritz can hold me. I'm crying. Alright,
Oh.
Chapter 1. The Knights in No Armor.
Oh no.
Yo, why are we starting stripping? No, I'm kidding. Alright.
Don't worry about it. And that's why, on this day, I am stepping down from my honor position as commander of the Order of Caldera. I'm sorry?
Fritz is standing on a small podium erected just outside the front gate, his expression somber as he gazes at the large gathering of knights. He's already given his resignation speech to the majority of the lower-ranking knights. This is just for ceremony purposes. I stand at the edge of the gate, arms crossed as I watch the proceedings. My heart ought to be filled with hope, but I'm more anxious than I have been in years. I can't shake the feeling that Fritz is doing this because of me. It's been 2 years since Fitzgerald Aidan Liverton, my personal knight, was promoted to the position of commander. Father bestowed the title and responsibility upon him after seeing how he acted during the crisis with Mother. Fritz possessed the required skill and ability to lead, even if he did sometimes require my assistance on account of his initial clumsiness. New responsibilities pulled Fritz away from me. It's been like this for nearly 2 years, even though the two of us see each other when we can. They say distance makes the heart grow fonder, but in this case... I stare hard at Fritz. There's nothing soft about the look on his face.
That is why it is an honor for me to promote Jurian. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Aliente, it looks like.
Sure. Honor for me to promote Jurian Valiente, my second in command, to head commander. I expect you to treat her with the same respect you have shown me.
Jurian moves forward to stand beside him when he gestures. Sir Fitzgerald. A flicker of smile passes over Fritz's face.
Sir is a little too stiff, don't you think?
Jurian smiles at him. There's a subtle sadness in their eyes, though I cannot imagine why. The proceedings go on for some time after that. It's when the ceremony has drawn to a close that I head back to the palace for one of my mandatory lessons. I'm relieved when my tutor dismisses me early. Maybe now I'll be able to catch Fritz. I am on my way to the palace gates when I stop, noticing Fritz and Jurian at the end of the corridor. The minute Fritz sees me, his lips pull back into a gentle smile.
Princess, I was wondering when you'd appear.
Good afternoon, Princess Lucette. Good afternoon, Jurian Valiente, Commander of the Order of Caldera. Jurian laughs. It still sounds like such a mouthful.
Well, it's shorter than Lieutenant Commander of the Order of Caldera, at least.
A fair point. I hope you know I'll still be asking for your advice every now and then, Fritz. I hope you don't mind.
Of course not. It's the least I can do after putting this responsibility on you so suddenly.
But now, no titles, no obstructions, right? She smiles at the two of us. You two have all the time in the world to spend together. Or a lot more of it, in any case. She pauses to look between us. Oh no, is it just gonna the whole time? She's just gonna be sad?
Yes.
Oh no. May I ask you something?
Of course.
Being able to be with a princess isn't the only reason you resigned, is it?
What makes you say that?
Before I can react, Fritz wraps an arm around my waist and pulls me closer.
The princess has always been my top priority.
What is that smirk?
It's...
What is that stance?
So remember, Varg is a part of him, but was like the part of him that wasn't like the golden retriever side, so that's the old Varg coming through.
Golden retriever side.
Yeah. He was basically golden retriever, like, personal knight, and Varg was like the opposite.
Amazing way to put that.
Mhm.
I love that.
The words are accompanied by a mischievous grin. I'm equally stunned and embarrassed. Jurian stares between the two of us with wide eyes. When Fritz sees her expression, he pulls his arm away with a laugh.
Sorry, princess. Sometimes I just can't help teasing.
These little comments of Fritz's have become more common over the past 2 years. I believe more than anything that he speaks like this more often now because he's more comfortable around me.
Yay.
You two really have changed, haven't you? Both of you. I know that she's right, but she's looking primarily at Fritz when she says it. But was the princess really the only reason, Fritz? Though Fritz struggles. Though Fritz continues to smile, I can see something twitch in his expression. I have known him long enough to see beyond his confident facade. I can now read Fritz's true emotions from his smallest gestures. No, it's not the only reason. I think back to the jeering crowds and the agitated townsfolk. I remember the way people protested Fritz's promotion to the commander because of his previous involvement with Mother. I still remember when they called him out in the streets. A wolf wearing a man's skin, a spy, a traitor. But Fritz only smiles.
Sure, there were other reasons, but being with the princess has always been the most important. I missed being her personal knight.
Jurian eyes him skeptically for a few moments, but in the end, she only shakes her head and smiles. I'm glad for the two of you, then. She excuses herself after that, explaining that she has a speech to prepare as newly promoted commander. The moment she leaves, the corridor becomes quiet. I look up at Fritz, wondering if I ought to apologize for being one of the reasons he had to step down, or should I congratulate him on his new freedom? I think we should congratulate?
Yeah, congratulate sounds. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
roll with that. I can feel
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Normally I don't congratulate someone on resigning, but Fritz claims this is what he wanted.
Thank you, princess.
With this, you'll have more obligations to the order. Oh, no more obligations to the order.
By stepping down, you'll somehow become more responsible.
Get back to
I was
work.
not expecting that close-up.
Hello there. No, just to you.
He steps forward and in that brief moment of closeness, leans down to plant a kiss on the top of my head. These public displays of affection have always been taboo. The only time Fritz is ever intimidated with me is when we are alone. He grins at me, almost
Intimidated.
mischievously.
Her royal dignified highness is blushing.
I poke his shoulder. I am not. Fritz only laughs. It's good to see him being less formal. Sometimes when he teases me, I can't help but remember the other side of him. The masked man with a shy smile.
A what?
Masked man.
With?
Did I say shy?
Yep.
I meant sly.
You also said intimidated by when you were...
Was that not the word? What
It
was
was
the
intimate.
Oh, whoops.
Intimate moment. Just...
My bad. It's an intimidating moment now.
It is now.
It's a side of him that he hides from most people, but not from me.
Anyway, with this resignation, I finally unleashed myself from the order.
His gaze seems unfocused when he looks away, almost like he's remembering something.
I'm never gonna let anyone else rule my life ever again.
Fritz? His expression softens when he looks at me.
It's nothing. I'm all yours now, princess. Well, almost. First, I have something I need to do. Care to tag along?
I smile when he holds out his arm. I don't mind the stares we get from the passing servants as I loop my arm through his and lean on his shoulder. By all means, lead on. Two of us make our way to the throne room together. Just as expected, the king is waiting for us. Wait, didn't he Oh wait, no, that was the bad ending.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just a bad ending. He's already
King.
cleared his schedule to make time for this personal audience of Fritz. I was like, hold up. But no,
it's Mithros.
that was just a bad ending. Fuck Mithros.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I get to do a thing.
Yay!
Cool. If the two of you are both here, I'm going to assume that the ceremony has come to a close.
Fritz... Sorry, my thing got tangled. Fritz releases my arm to duck into a bow.
That is correct, Your Majesty. I am no longer with the Order of Caldera. All that remains is for me to return the required documents and decorations of my position.
Father looks at Fritz thoughtfully. Then he smiles.
I would like to personally thank you for your dedication to this kingdom, Sir Fitzgerald. I apologize for heaving the responsibility of commander onto you when you were still so young.
Fritz's lips twitch. I look at him quizzically, not entirely certain if I was imagining the scowl on his face.
No apologies are necessary, Your Majesty. It was and always has been an honor to serve Angiel.
It was an honor to have a man as dedicated and committed as you leading the order. Now,
Father stands
dear.
up, surprising us both.
Oh dear.
though I'm afraid it will not be as grand as knighting you with a sword, I would insist that I reward you for all your hard work.
Oh no.
Guards, take him away.
Guards to the prison.
From this day forward, I bestow upon you the title of Lord. I would also give you a stretch of land. You may do with it whatever you desire.
Hooray!
Fritz shifts on his feet. His fidgeting is a sure sign he has something he wants to say. The king seems to notice.
What say you, Sir Fitzgerald?
I require no land, Your Majesty. I still have my father's manor. But if I may be so bold, I would like to make a request. Oh no.
A request? Is he about to do the thing?
Fritz and I share a glance.
Oh.
State your request, Sir Fitzgerald.
Fritz
still
falls
gonna-
on
He's
one
not
knee.
sir, he's Lord.
Fitzgerald falls to one knee and bows his head.
Your Majesty, I humbly request that I be allowed to publicly court your daughter, Princess Lucette.
Guards to the dungeon.
Guards, take him away.
Oh, this.
Actually, I take that back. Execution.
Oh no!
Execution. Execution. Immediately. Get me my finest broadsword.
It's like, Father, what happened to your kind heart? Now you're like Mother.
Yes, I know.
This news seems to take Father aback. I stare at him, confused. But he already knows that Fritz and I are in love with each other. Why is this a surprise? Father lowers himself to his throne once again, his movements oddly stiff. Fritz is still bent on one knee, his head ducked in indifference. The room is eerily silent. When no one rises to meet the challenge of the quiet, I clear my throat and speak first. Father?
Uh-oh.
I apologize.
Even Fritz looks up at this.
Your Majesty?
I give you my blessing, Sir Fitzgerald. You are more than free to court my daughter. It is her decision whom she chooses, after all. However,
Father's expression falls. I know what he's doing is what he's going to say before he even says it, and it makes my heart sink.
public opinion is not so easily swayed. There is no doubt in my mind that your displays of affection will be criticized.
Father tilts his head towards me.
Do you understand my meaning, Lucette?
As low as I am to admit it, I do. There's a fragile balance in our kingdom right now. The magic that once existed is now completely gone. The witches, and even some of the, all the fairies and witches don't really exist anymore, technically. Witches, and even some of the fairies blame me for its loss. Winning over the humans has already been difficult enough. Though most of the townsfolk in Andriel are now courteous to me, many of them still do not trust me. And Fritz, many people still believe he's to blame for many of Mother's atrocities. Despite the things he's done to make up for it, they still choose to blame him, even knowing he was cursed the entire time. There would undoubtedly be bad rumors if the two of us publicly courted. I understand what you mean, but it does not affect my feelings.
We are trying to rekindle the people's trust in us.
I will make them trust me.
Fritz rises and stares adamantly at the king.
I've been dedicated to this kingdom ever since I became a knight, and I still am. That will never change. Not even if...
He falters, but only briefly.
My point is that Princess Lucette and I have been trying to make things right since Hilda passed. And our own efforts to find happiness should not be thwarted by the people we're trying to help. I can read.
You have changed, Sir Fitzgerald. I remember your gentleness from when I first knighted you. Even now, you wear a smile on your face in trying times. You remain dedicated to our kingdom, even when it is broken and healing. You still smile, but now you smile with confidence. You have my blessing, Sir Fitzgerald, so long as you have my daughters. Remember what I said to you. I have bestowed upon you the title of Lord. No one, not even the nobles, can look down upon you. Hold your head proud.
He turns to me.
The same goes to you, Lucette. I appreciate your reminder. I should know that love knows no boundaries.
He smiles fondly, and I can tell he's thinking of Ophelia.
Whoops.
A small echo pains somewhere from inside my heart, but it feels misplaced and distant. The wounds of the past may still hurt, but they are healing. Our conversation with father does not last much longer. After speaking briefly on some technical process Fritz must now undergo to obtain his new title, the king excuses us from the throne room.
You must do 10,000 push-ups over the course of 1 month.
I'll do it on one hand.
Or
Watch
suffer the consequences of execution.
me. He does it one-handed. Outside in the hallway, Fritz seems equal parts relieved and deflated. I was expecting to come out of that feeling lighter, but father's concerns will continue to weigh on me. Fritz forces a smile on his face. He's always good at making it seem as if he's fine, even when I know that he must be hurting on the inside.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Fritz. He grabs my hands and plants a kiss on my forehead.
I think I'm going to attend those obligations the king mentioned. Still need to return some documents and my armor. But after that, I'll make sure I'm available to you for the rest of the day.
He squeezes my hands.
Perhaps we could even spend tonight together? I was thinking about a night out in town, but your thoughts seem to be on other things. As I hold my hand out menacingly.
He raises an expectant eyebrow.
He's pulling a Varg.
See, I went to Mithros for that. For the
No.
placement of his hand in that last one.
No, that was a
no.
Varg.
That was a Varg. It's the crooked smile with teeth. When I nudge him on the shoulder, the cocky grin fades from his face and is replaced by a smile that oozes innocence. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe he wears that innocence like a shield.
Anyway, I'll be back later. Let's meet up in your room in 2 hours' time.
He starts to bow, but then suddenly stops, realizing he no longer needs to. Instead, he smiles at me one last time before turning and heading to the direction of the commander's office. He may have tried to hide it, but I can tell that he's also distressed by what the king said. Maybe I can buy him something in town, something that'll cheer him up. But what could I possibly purchase for him? I think a croissant, because I remember he took her for croissants once.
Croissants are better than tea anyway, so go croissants.
Croissant is the right answer, but I want to say tea because tea is good.
Tea is good, but croissant. Boop. Fritz always
Some
did.
dead people tea.
Yeah. Fritz always did love visiting the bakeries. It's been a long time since we've gone to one together, and even longer time since we shared a pastry. Fritz said his favorite desserts were chocolate croissants. Oh yes, those are so good. I should buy him one for later. I nod my head, suddenly feeling resolute, and then head to the palace gates. Much to my surprise, the woman at the bakery remembers me. Not as the crown princess, but as a peasant that used to come here frequently with Fritz. I'm relieved when she greets me with a smile and a bow. She eyes the knights at the door, but says nothing when I order 2 desserts. A chocolate croissant for Fritz and a custard Danish for myself. Ah, both good choices. This place brings back so many memories. Fritz used to love bringing me to this small bakery. He knew about how much I loved dessert and wanted to show me all the best cafes in Angiel. I take the 2 desserts and walk out to the small bakery. I sigh with relief as I come out of the small space, relieved to be back in the town plaza, where things are more spacious. A woman smiles as she passes by me. Good afternoon, Your Highness. She curtsies. Good afternoon. She's already walked off by the time I respond. Most of the townsfolk, while polite, are still quiet around me. They still prefer to speak with Emmeline and Rod. What can I do to make him trust me? What can I do to heal Angiel? 2 knights trail behind me as I begin to walk back to my carriage. I prefer having it parked in inconspicuous areas, so that I'm forced to walk around and speak to the townsfolk. I hope it makes me seem more approachable. I'm still lost in my thoughts when we come to an emptier part of the plaza, and somebody abruptly steps into my path. I take a step back immediately. The knights behind me are at my sides in a heartbeat. Oh, I apologize. The same woman I just passed? Was she headed in this direction? There's no need to apologize. I'm afraid I wasn't watching where I was going. I'm shocked when a mischievous smile appears at her lips. I'm so fixated on her face, I barely register the sound of shattering glass at my feet. A waft of mist suddenly rises from the ground, making it impossible for me to see anything. Oh my god, actual fucking conflict?
Oh my god.
Dear God! Princess!
The knight's voice comes from behind me. I feel him grab at my arm. Wait, no, this hand is ungloved. I try to pull away, but to no avail. A second, stronger hand grips my other arm, pulling me away from the knights and through the mist. Yeah, we're getting actual conflict here, not just relationship problems. I think so.
Did she legit just get kidnapped?
Not yet.
Give it a minute.
My eyes are tears as strangers pull me away from the area. I struggle to clear my thoughts as we emerge into an alleyway. Now she got kidnapped. When I look up, I see the woman from earlier. A man stands beside her, arms crossed. That was too easy. Honorable Knights of Caldera,
Seems we can still get the better of. We can still get the better of them even without magic.
Oh, they must be witches. These people are. They turn to look at me. Well, hello, Princess Lucette. What is the meaning of this?
Delora? You really can't guess, little Miss Princess.
The man looks at me with surprising calmness.
We're taking you hostage.
What?
Don't try anything funny. We don't want to hurt you, but we will if we need to.
I glare at the two of them. What is it that you threw back there?
Smoke bab.
A mist potion, one of the last left in Angiel.
Shit.
The woman scowls at me. As you knew, there's no more potion making, not in a world where magic no longer exists.
We go.
Some of the others thought we ought to make you pay for taking away our magic. We're of the opinion that this would be cruel. You should be grateful for that. That's not how that works.
What do you plan on doing with me? You'll be staying with us for a little while until we decide on a ransom price. And if we can't make gold selling our potions, we'll just have to get it some other way. This is cowardly.
It's called banditry.
I'm startled when the woman slaps my face. I step back, eyes wide.
I thought we said...
The woman silences the man with a glare. She turns back to me. What would a little girl like you know of our pain? Lady Hilda was going to make this place for all of us witches to thrive. Because of your meddling, magic is gone forever. And not only that, but the humans who know we are witches still ostracize us, making it impossible for us to get jobs. A spoiled princess like yourself has not even tried to bridge that divide, has no business telling us what is cowardly. I've been too busy trying to mend this kingdom as a whole. I've been trying to gain people's trust. I thought that magic was gone, there'd be no more reason for anyone to hate witches. And yet this discrimination still exists. The partners usher me forward. When I do not come willingly, the man grabs my arm and pulls me behind him. The two begin to traverse a series of complicated alleyways that lead deeper and deeper into town. It almost feels like a labyrinth. The sky darkens into a crimson, then a deep purple as we move further into the alleyways. I was meant to meet Fritz hours ago. Thinking about Fritz makes me think of rescue and of the knights that were separated from me. Do the knights even know about these alleys? I stopped abruptly. I must do something.
You don't have the luxury of stopping now, princess.
Not unless you want to try our patience. The woman makes some dismissive gesture at the man, and he nods his head before walking through the alley ahead of us. Where is he going? None of your business. The woman pulls a hidden dagger from her sleeve and holds it to my neck. But don't think his absence gives you any sort of advantage.
It gives us every advantage.
I honestly do not know.
Big.
I mean, she has a knife. Maybe just talk for now.
Okay, speak up. Harming me would only anger the king they want to ask a ransom from. No, these people will not injure me. Running would be unwise when they know this area better than me. You are aware of how foolish this is, aren't you? I would reckon that it's hardly as foolish as your own mistake, princess. I swallowed back my retort and narrowed my eyes. Even if you are able to demand a ransom from the king, the knights will stop at nothing to track you down. You're putting yourselves in danger. And I meet the woman's gaze with confidence. It is no lie when I say I am trying my best to right the wrongs I committed in the past. I do not intend to let this discriminatory behavior continue. The woman scoffs. How honorable. You think you can barter with us, princess? You think you, the princess no one ever wanted, can save us from this situation? The woman presses the flat of the dagger further into my neck. I gasp before I can help it. I would remember who's in charge here. I'm gonna guess it's Fritz.
Oh? Do tell. I wonder who it is that needs to be careful.
Watch it be Vard.
That'd be hilarious. Technically still Fritz. The woman and I turn at the same time to face the source of the voice. Called it.
Hey.
Fritz walks towards us from the opposite end of the alley.
Hey.
Come any closer and I'll slit the princess's throat. She brings the dagger close to my neck, but something silver flashes through the air and cuts the motion short. The dagger falls from her hand. 2 daggers lie on the ground. One belongs to the woman, and the other must have been thrown by Fritz.
Damn.
Hey, what's happening here?
The man, who I presume had been scouting the area, has returned. When he catches sight of Fritz, he moves to stand protectively by the woman's side. Both take a step back as Fritz approaches, eyes flashing dangerously.
I wouldn't test me if I were you.
I take a few steps back as well, putting myself as close to Fritz as possible. Fritz glances at me.
Princess? Are you unharmed?
I am. He offers me a tight-lipped smile before turning his attention back to the kidnappers.
Looks like it's useless trying to reason with people that have thick skulls. But at least you tried, Princess.
Thick skulls? Is that what you humans... Wait, it's you humans who have the thick skulls. Those witches. She stops abruptly. The realization dawns upon her slowly. There are no witches. Not anymore.
I've memorized your faces. No matter how far you run, I will track you down.
Jesus.
A personal hunting dog, are we?
Aye. Those are big words for a knight who does nothing but take orders. Oh?
I'm surprised when Fritz draws his blade. He has no need to wear a scabbard at his side now that he has given up his title, and yet here he is carrying a sword. In a heartbeat, he has the tip pointed at the man's neck.
Allow me to enlighten you.
If they are hurt, nothing will change. Fritz, let them go. Fritz! Fritz puts his finger to his lips and releases a shrill whistle. The dark spaces in the alleyway, which I presumed to be empty, suddenly fill with knights. Did Fritz lead them here?
Yes. Anyone who puts the princess in danger is to be captured on sight.
Is he gonna, like, end up being the overprotective boyfriend? But, like, in a toxic way?
I mean...
Because it's starting to look like that. Fritz pulls back his sword, eyes narrowed. The knight needs no further signal. The two of us rush forward to grab the man and the woman from behind. Fritz watches, his gaze cold. Eventually, once the kidnappers have been contained, he turns to me with a gentle, if not tired, smile.
Are you sure you're okay, Princess?
I'm fine, Fritz. Those two were witches, or they used to be. They wanted to capture me and demand a ransom from the king.
They weren't very tactful, were they?
I watch as the knights take the former witches away. Both glare at me as they are led down the alleyway. Before, they might have fought back with magic. Now, they have nothing.
Princess?
I feel Fritz's hand on my cheek.
Come on, let's go back. We'll need to report this incident to Jurian.
I turn to Fritz. Two of us are walking out of the alleyway. How did you find me?
Practice. I'm a good tracker, Princess. I mean, one of us had to be. When you weren't in your room, I went looking for you. The knights reported that you had left the palace earlier, so I went searching for you in town.
Fritz frowns.
You had no idea how worried I was when they told me you had been captured. I had to have reprimanded them for losing you so easily. If I was still their commander, I would have.
Fritz stops himself and shakes his head.
What were you doing out in town?
I hold up the wrinkled bag with a sigh. Fritz eyes it with curiosity. For a few moments, he looks puzzled. Then he notices the pattern on the bag.
Oh,
Oh, he's blushing now. I take the now cold croissant out of the bag with a grimace and hold it out to him.
a croissant? Princess, you shouldn't have.
Look at us getting both questions right so far. Or
Yeah,
choices.
we've been
Boy.
like 3-0.
Oh no, how are we gonna screw this up?
Hopefully
Right?
we don't. His eyes brighten when he takes a bite.
It's delicious. Thank you. I was actually gonna take you out to that bakery later tonight. They have a light display that I really want you to see. But you went ahead and bought me something anyway. And then you got yourself captured because I wasn't with you.
I bristled at his comment. Because he wasn't with me, if I could use magic, I would have been able to defend myself. Or maybe if I had a weapon.
And if
I've
only
been-
we knew someone.
Had I been armed, I might have been able to protect myself. I might not have needed to be rescued. I sighed to myself. I doubt the kings would give me a sword when I have not been trained to use one. Is there nothing I can do to protect myself?
If only we knew a way to learn how to use a blade.
Yeah. So that Pathline, remember, she didn't hang out the march and she went completely solo, so she's not that tight with Karma or the others.
Fritz.
Oh, Fritz. Well,
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna insist that he be there, though. We'll see. After explaining the situation to both Julian and my father, I'm finally allowed to return to my room. The first thing I do is collapse onto my bed with a sigh. I had not been lying down for long when a knock sounds on my door.
Lucette?
Come in. I sit up as Fritz enters the room. He's smiling his usual smile, but he does not seem to be trying very hard to hide the tiredness in his eyes. I pat the space on the bed beside me. Are you okay, Fritz?
Right as rain.
He is most definitely not. He slides onto the bed beside me and slowly, almost hesitantly, settles an arm around my waist, pulling me closer.
I'm just relieved to know that we got to you today before the situation got any worse, Princess.
Fritz?
Hmm?
You don't have to call me by my title anymore, you know. He had to as a Knight of Caldera, but he's no longer a knight. I'm relieving you of that responsibility. Fritz laughed sheepishly.
Some habits die hard.
Hey, thank you for the resub, Harry. There is a moment of silence between the two of us. I note the telltale tension in his body and stifle a laugh.
Who you calling sus, motherfucker? I never did anything.
I made him worried today. Had I been able to escape earlier, I might not have needed anyone's assistance. It occurs to me that it's not the first time I've lamented my inability to fight back. As a princess, my life is technically always in danger. Knowing how to defend myself would be extremely helpful. I closed my
Only
eyes and
you-
frowned. Unable to stop my thoughts from floating with familiar faces, all of them now gone. Garland, Delora, Parfait. I still believe I would have been able to save them had I made wiser decisions and known how to fight back. I don't want anyone else to get hurt because of my own weakness.
Lucette?
Fritz pulls a strand of loose hair away from my face. May I ask you for some advice, Fritz?
Of course. Anything.
I would like some means of protecting myself. Fritz furrows his eyebrows.
Lucette, next time you go out, I'll make sure to be with you.
Fritz, I want to be able to protect myself. Fritz looks at me quietly. Then, much to my surprise, he smiles, if not a little grimly.
I don't have much advice. But I do have this.
He points to his wrist. I turn to watch in awe as he slides a dagger out from his sleeve. He hands it to me. Isn't it forbidden for knights to carry concealed weapons? Townsfolk must always be able to see what the knights carry. The rules implemented a few years ago, soon after the chaos that befell Angiel. Also granted the right to carry weapons must carry them. All those granted the right to carry weapons must carry them out in the open. It's our way of building trust within the denizens of the kingdom. I don't know why I struggled so hard. Much to my surprise, Fritz grins at me.
I'm not a knight anymore, am I?
The expression fades as he puts his finger to the flat surface of the blade. I can't help but stare at the elaborate design on the hilt. It's beautiful. Where did you get this?
It belonged to my mother. A long, long time ago.
Fritz has barely spoken of his mother. All I know about her is that she died when Fritz was very young.
My father gave it to her as a gift. She wanted it for the same reason you did.
Suddenly, his expression is melancholy. He dips his head and frowns. Fritz, you don't need to speak about her if you don't want to.
No, it's not that. It's just... I just remembered that the day that my mother died, she didn't have this dagger with her. I've had it for a long time, but never started keeping it on me until...
His voice fades. A flicker of gloom in his eyes tells me that he's remembering the events of 2 years ago. Though I have tried to block out many of my memories from that time, I can't forget the dagger Fritz once pointed at his own throat. It was a dagger he kept hidden up his sleeve. The dagger Varg used to threaten us.
Well, I've had it for a while, but now it's yours. Keep it just in case I can't be there. Last thing I want for you is to be in any danger. Besides, I'll just go get a new dagger.
I looked down at the dagger, contemplating. I would like to learn how to use it. A weapon is useful only when you know how to wield it, or wield it.
Of course. I would be more than happy to teach you when I have some time on my hands.
He inhales sharply. I stare in alarm as panic flits across his face. Fritz?
It's nothing, Princess. I still have to give my detailed report, but I promise I'll be free tomorrow morning.
He walks to the door, but then pauses to glance back at me.
Lucette, I love you, and I'm glad I can say that without worrying about anything getting in the way.
I love you too, Fritz. Follow my heart. The two of us exchange smiles before he walks out the front door.
He's gonna die.
Once I'm alone, my eyes return to the beautiful dagger in my lap.
Anger.
Feels like Fritz has given me a part of himself, but I cannot get his earlier distress out of my mind. The dagger is a comfort, but it also feels foreboding, like it might be the trigger to something ominous.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
What? Unheard of.
I hide it away in one of my drawers before falling back on my bed. It takes me a long time to fall asleep that night.
Timing. I have got to get up. I've got to pee like the dickens. I
Alright,
apologize.
right as rain. Alright, we'll take a short break then.
Look, more foreshadowing.
Boop! Be right back! I'm gonna go find a snack.
I'm gonna go refill my water.